right, so let us start with this. You remember the guy that was running around, dumping ice in the fryers, throwing full-size cakes at people from up on balconies, and then spraying pesticides, like I think it was like spraying poison on fruit in grocery stores? This guy. Yes, and thank you, Zeb. Okay, so for those of you that don't know who this guy is, he is a quote-unquote, it was Ray. Thank you, Zelina. He is a quote-unquote one of these dumb fucking chaos streamers who is, his whole shtick is fucking with people or businesses. He has literally gone into fast food restaurants, walked into the grill area, and dumped whole bags of ice into fryers and then taken off. He has thrown cakes at people, large like sheet cakes at people from like an upper balcony in a mall and almost hit them. And the latest thing he did is he walked into a grocery store late at night and started spraying Raid on the produce. And he got busted. And now we have a follow-up to this fucker getting busted. So that's why I went and see this. So let's see. Now, the title could be misleading. This title could be misleading. But let's actually see. Cortez, I do not know. I don't believe he has, but I could be mistaken with that. Yeah, and he's doing this on TikTok, and I don't think he was making any money for it. So let's see how things are going with Fuckstick here. His name's like Wolfie something.
So much worse for the TikToker who poisoned food at Walmart for a prank, as he's now pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts of adding poison and harmful substances to food,
Pled
1
guilty.
misdemeanor count of endangerment, and 1 misdemeanor count of criminal damage.
Here we go. This is what he did. Yeah, he sprayed roach killer on produce.
Dude essentially wanted attention so bad on the internet that he destroyed.
Like, when we saw that video, like, we watched Atozy's video when he did this. And I didn't have it at the time. I would have gone full fucking flaming rage mode on this guy if I'd had my model back then. Because that was literally an act of biological terrorism. Like, make no fucking mistake. This literally was an act of biological terror. Yes, Wolfie Coletti. Correct, Tornado. Okay, Leo, get some rest. Like, this was like, honestly, I think what the charges that he got were lightweight, in my opinion. He did all of this for, the fucking scary thing is, he did this for fucking TikTok clout. Okay? That is how absolutely fucked in the head this guy is. He did it for TikTok clout. Guys like this guy are the poster child for people wanting to ban TikTok in the US. Like, whenever anybody talks about wanting to ban TikTok in the US, they will point to this fucking guy and say, this is what TikTok does. You have people walking into grocery stores and poisoning food for TikTok fucking clout. It's fucking disgusting. I think at the time I said he should have been charged with terrorism. I still think he should have. He absolutely should have been charged with terrorism. This was fucking biological terrorism. Right fucking here. Stop being nice to these people. The reason why they keep doing it is because you are nice to them. Stop being fucking nice.
Destroyed his life for it. And unfortunately, there's now many cases of this. So he's not even unique. He's just another moron headed to prison. But it's been at least 4 months since we've had our last update on this guy. And next month, it'll be 1 year since I first started covering this dude. So there's a lot that's unfolded. So, I mean, if you're lucky enough to not know who I'm talking about today, I'm sorry for taking out of your bliss because sometimes ignorance truly is bliss. But this is Charles Smith. also known as the social media creator Wolfie Coletti, a Arizonan TikToker who went viral last year for basically being a public nuisance and just an all-around absolute scumbag. Wolfie decided that being
Atozy is trying to mince his words because he doesn't want to get demonetized on his channel. I respect that. I'm gonna call it how he is. This guy's a fucking asshat. He deserves to get the book thrown at him. He should be in prison for at least 15 fucking years because the shit he does could kill someone. He literally should have God knows how many fucking charges of endangerment, of reckless endangerment. And honestly, I think I think a good lawyer could make the argument that what he did with the raid could be construed as terrorism. I think a good lawyer could make that argument. Fuck this guy. He's not a chaos streamer. He's a fucking asshole. And he deserves to be in fucking prison for years. Okay? Fuck this guy. He has zero contribution to society. None. He has absolutely no contribution to society whatsoever. Throw his ass in prison and force him to be a contribution to society. Have him work in a prison chain gang or something so he actually does something good for people for once. That is the only way he is going to actually contribute to society, is you put him on like a fucking chain gang or something and make him pick trash up from the side of the road. Then he might actually be doing something for the benefit of people. For once in his fucking life.
Being a functioning member of society just wasn't for him, so he became a self-proclaimed real-life villain and started recording TikTok content at the expense of random innocent people, ruining their days for views. Because as I've said in my previous videos, his content was essentially barely monetizable all the way up until the last few months before he was arrested. I think right before he was arrested, he was making a couple $1,000s a month doing this stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how... Hang on. Yeah, he's gonna ruin this man's clothes. One thing I'm curious about, I thought these doors... Don't the dryer doors lock? Or is that the washer? No, that's the washer doors, not the dryer doors. Never mind. Forget what I said.
I mean, there's nothing like destroying what could possibly be this man's only set of clothes for some attention.
I still don't know how in the hell this man has not gotten the absolute shit kicked out of him already. Seriously, I don't know how he hasn't been curb stomped into oblivion by this point. Yeah, like he runs every time. Like we've seen the videos where he does something when people approach and he fucking runs. It amazes me. Like, yeah, he got arrested before he could. It surprises me. Like we've saw many TikTok videos that he's done. It honestly surprises me that he hasn't got the shit kicked out of him. Yeah, he's no. With people like Atozy and everything, his face got out there. So I'm surprised he still kept doing it. And people didn't recognize him. So when he goes to run away from one person they fucks with, you don't have a whole squad of people sitting there waiting for him going, "Hey, come here, you little bitch, it's time." I'm honestly surprised that has not happened. Really? Especially in fucking Arizona, which is an open goddamn carry state, I will remind you. Like, the fact that he does this in Arizona and hasn't been shot is surprising. I'm really surprised. Like, yeah, he'll pull shit and run away. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't gotten shot yet, realistically.
Attention online. And the whole ongoing theme of this guy is he always picks on the least economically fortunate, as his normal targets are either fast food workers, retail workers, laundromat customers or dollar store customers. This could be because he's just trying to pick out people who won't sue him. But you reap what you sow, and eventually, if you're a scumbag, it'll catch up to you. As sadly, what you just saw is far from his worst video. One of the videos that made him somewhat infamous is him dumping a bag of ice into a fryer while they were in business.
Now, this, I am shocked that the company didn't go after him. This shocks me that, watch what he does. For those of you that have not seen this, watch what he does. This is fucking insane.
Let's talk about the bag, girl. Hey.
And in case you didn't know, this is...
That, honestly, I'm surprised that fast food restaurant did not press charges and did not sue him. Well, Jack, I said the same thing, but a very excellent point was brought up at the time. The employees are directed not to do anything. If any of the employees had tried to stop him, they would be fired. Which is shitty as hell, okay? Make no mistake, that is shitty as hell that if the employees tried to stop him, they'd probably get fired. But the fact is, I am honestly shocked that the business did not file a police report, did not go after him, and did not sue him. That surprises me the most. Unless these charges that we're about to be hearing about stem from the shit that he did with the fast food. Now, I'm also wondering if now that he's been identified and has been gone in front of a judge, if maybe, if this is making news that these businesses that because it was more than one business more than one fast food business that he walked into and just dumped something in the fryer. He did it with the ice in this one. He did it with like a watermelon in another fast food business. And I'm wondering if now that he's been arrested and identified and this shit has been being broadcast, if businesses are not going to start, filing police reports, seeking charges, and contacting their lawyers to start filing lawsuits for damages. I'm wondering if this is basically what is going to get the whole ball rolling on this kind of thing.
This is what happens when you put way less ice into a frying machine. And of course, this happened at a Popeyes as well. Or people who work at Popeyes, man.
This shit gets explosive. This shit gets dangerous. Like this.
I mean,
this is how this place could go up in flames in a fucking heartbeat, and within literal seconds, you have a fully involved fire that is encompassing the entire building. This is how people die. This will kill people doing this. Okay? You get all the oil bubbling up like this, spilling over. It catches the tiniest of ignition sources, and every millimeter of this goes up in flames. It all goes up in flames, and the entire building is engulfed in fire in literal seconds. And that was a cup of ice, and he dumped a full bag in it.
I mean, hey, that was pretty much best case scenario right there, and that was with way less ice. So it's safe to say, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to realize how bad this could have gone. There is no way they didn't have to shut down the kitchen after Wolfie did that. Because I did go on and find another video where they put roughly the same amount of ice as Wolfie put into the fryer, and here...
That's less. That's still less. That amount is still less. Wolfie had a full bag of it. He probably had 1.5 times the amount of ice as was in this basket. at least 1.5 times the amount of ice. Like, this is, look at that. And all it takes is a single tiny ignition source, and all of that goes up in flames.
And I mean, this is honestly best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you burn the whole building down. Then you have videos like this.
Fried pigeon?
Oh my god.
Wolfie, remember that.
Yeah, if you were going to make a list of his worst moments, it would be impossible to not include the lineup of videos of himself committing.
Like, seriously, this guy is committing acts of terrorism. Like, no, he's not doing it for any political or religious ideology. He's doing it for clicks. He's doing it for clicks and likes on TikTok. But this is, like, I'm sorry. Any decent lawyer could very easily make the argument that the pattern of behavior is these are acts of terrorism. No, Atozy was saying he was monetized barely. He was barely monetized. So he was getting money from it. Atozy was saying he was like getting a couple thousand a month from his TikTok. But I would guarantee you, a decent prosecuting attorney could make the argument for terrorism. I bet you he could. It's not being done for political, sociological, or religious ideologies. But I would wager that a decent prosecutor could make the argument and make it stick.
Attempted battery with a cake.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Actual battery with a cake. False imprisonment and disrupting a business practice. And of course, poisoning food at a grocery store.
Wait, let's see. Okay, as someone who did work in a restaurant for 16 years, fryers weren't to be taken lightly. When we cleaned them, there was no... Yes, Moose, exactly. You do not fuck with the grease. You don't fuck with it because that's how people die. Is by fucking around when it comes to grease fryers.
And of course, poisoning food at a grocery store.
Yeah, Shadows, he just showed that.
It's wild that this guy makes Johnny Somali even seem like a decent citizen in comparison. But obviously it was the food poisoning incident that finally got the authorities to take some real action against him. That was the video that immediately got him arrested by Mesa police in December of last year, as he turned himself in and admitted to the crime without any hesitation. Because, well, you know, when you record and post your crimes online, you are the star witness against yourself. When you film yourself committing a felony, upload it for...
Chris, they're all crimes. Every fucking video that we just saw, and we didn't see all of them either. There were more, we've seen more on Atozy's channel of his videos. He's done even more. Okay? They're all crimes. Every fucking thing he did was a crime. And yeah, he's bragging about it. He's smiling about it because he's getting clicks and likes. He should be like the police should be scraping his TikTok data and basically going to every victim of his crimes that they can find and say, we have his name. We have his information. He has already been charged and has pled guilty. Do you want to file charges? And with the businesses, at the very least, the businesses need to be getting on the phones to their attorneys and saying, lawsuit now. Take every fucking dime he ever made from TikTok. It's gonna be ours by the end of the day. Like, if the police, the police need to, get the data from his TikTok account, find his victims, and go inform them. Hey, here is his name. Do you want to press charges? God willing, it's within the statute of limitations. Do you want to press charges? And the businesses, if the police tell them about it, the business and you are cool, get on the phone to the lawyer, start drawing up the paperwork. It's lawsuit time. Train this guy of fucking everything. Throw his ass in prison, I thought he did a lot of it in Arizona, Tanashi. To my understanding, most of his stuff he did in Arizona. Although I could be wrong about that. Regardless if he did the stuff in Cali, there is inter-police communication. The police, Mesa Police Department can basically, it would be hard to look at his TikTok and figure out what he did and where. Like, there needs to be follow-ups on this. Charges and lawsuits. Like, literally, throw his ass in prison for years, drain every fucking dime out of his bank account, put him in the fucking poorhouse. And then the courts need to ban him from social media. That's another key thing. The judge needs to put a, 20-year ban on social media use on him. No social media, no streaming for 20 years. Actually make these people pay for their crimes and take away the very thing that is driving them to do it in the first place, which is getting clicks and likes on social media and streaming. Take that shit away, and you'll start to actually see a dent getting put in these fucking chaos streamers. Because the only other option is people will start, without hesitation. What's going to happen is if the court systems don't start locking this the fuck down, then what's going to happen is people are going to be like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. I'm done. And then they're good. And what's going to happen is you're going to see people who are witnessing, who view someone, suspect they are a chaos streamer, and then start attacking them when they perceive them to be performing chaos streaming when they may not actually be. And you're going to have people attacking other individuals because they suspect they're chaos streamers, even if they're not, and that's going to create a whole host of new problems of people getting attacked just for taking a fucking photo because people become so fucking gun shy about these chaos streamers that are ruining people's lives that they might misidentify an innocent person that is not doing chaos streaming and become a victim of it. It's a whole perpetuating cycle here that needs to get nipped the fuck in the bud now. The court systems need to, the first thing these court systems that the courts need to do with the chaos streamers, first thing, ban from using social media and streaming. Right off the bat, that's number one. Okay, you want to do this? Cool. You cannot stream or use social media for 10 years, 5 years, something. Actually punish them where it fucking hurts. You take away the platform that they're using to get this, to basically get their high, because that's what they're doing. They're getting a dopamine hit from streaming on this by doing this shit. You take away their dopamine hit. That's the first step. And Sketty, thank you for the gifted.
For the whole world to see and then brag about it, there's no question about whether you did it or not. You're just making the prosecutor's job extremely easy and your defense nearly impossible. So the Maricopa County Attorney's Office later indicted him on multiple charges, including introducing poison, criminal damage, endangerment, and theft. And after he was arrested, it was only a matter of time until they started digging into his past videos to throw extra charges on him. Because along with the 4 other charges, a third-degree burglar charge was also added related to an incident at a Bosa donut shop.
Never named it. Charles Smith.
In an MCSO orange jumpsuit, Charles Smith, who goes by Wolfie Coletti on social media, was in court for the second time in just a few days. Already arrested in Mesa over the weekend, where police say he took this can of bug and flea killer off the shelf at a Walmart and sprayed the pesticide on produce that was on sale.
Wolfie, I know you don't. Don't worry. Well, Atanasi, they always do when they get put in front of a judge. Cody, I do not know. That is an excellent question, and I do not know. I imagine we may start seeing more and more businesses that will forbid live streaming inside them. That is, we are probably not far off of more and more of them basically saying no live streaming. And honestly, they should. They absolutely should.
Off the shelf at a Walmart and sprayed the pesticide on produce that was on sale for anyone to buy, all while filming the action himself. The 27-year-old told officers he's a self-proclaimed troll and that he makes up to $10,000 a month posting those videos on social media.
Lawsuit, businesses call your lawyers. Lawsuit, take him for everything. At the very least, Walmart should. And even if those other businesses that he basically did his chaos streaming in don't know about it and have been contacted, Walmart, they got the lawyers. They got the lawyers, and I say they would be a prime candidate to sue him for everything. For endangering their customers, possibly causing damage to the business, because now people might, they could articulate that people don't know if they're going to have more people coming in and spraying pesticides on the produce and all the produce they had to get rid of.
The court paperwork for the latest arrest is sealed, but as part of his release conditions, the judge told Smith he is not allowed to be on any social media.
Fucking based, Judge. Yes, Judge. Fucking based. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm fucking talking about. Now, hello. Hi, where? I want to know.
Work for the latest arrest is sealed, but as part of his release conditions, the judge told Smith he is not allowed to be on any social media. And he's not allowed to set foot inside any Bosa donut shop.
I mean, by the way, this guy is 28 years old. Dude has a fully developed prefrontal cortex, yet for some reason is spraying Raid, which is a cockroach exterminator, on food. Is risking killing someone worth social media attention?
For him it is, yes. Because people like him are so fucking brain rotted that, yes, all they care about is clicks and likes. They want the dopamine hit. They want that hit. This is a drug. People like this, social media like TikTok, is a literal fucking drug. He has, exactly, Atozy. He probably has nothing else in his life. He's probably before he started doing this kind of shit, he was a nobody. And he probably fucking hated it. He probably hated his life because he was nothing. And then he started doing this and streaming it, and people started clicking that like button, and it was that fucking dopamine hit. It was that he was getting that dopamine hit every time he was seeing the likes on his stream, on his TikTok stream, and it was a drug. It was literally a drug. We talk about like all the new psychological bullshit that comes about with like social media and the new generation, like the whole affluenza thing. You are going to start seeing social media start being treated psychologically as drug use, where people are so addicted to social media, particularly like with TikTok, it's going to start getting treated like drug use. And I would not be surprised if some fucking lawyer tries to get him off of these charges by claiming that he is addicted to TikTok and that this is an addiction and he should be treated with the same same courtesy as an alcoholic or someone who is addicted to illegal drugs, and he should be getting treatment. I guarantee you that is the route we're going with this.
Apparently, he thought so. But last year, he had to spend Christmas in jail, and his case has been moving through the legal system since then. His initial pretrial conference was originally scheduled for April.
Yeah, and Wolfie, that in case it wasn't clear, I am not equating it to people that try and deal with and overcome and maintain or beat alcoholism. I was not equating it to that. I was referring to the social media stuff. I was speaking about it divisively and not throwing shade at anybody that is coping with alcoholism, just so we're clear on that. I'm saying it's a joke if a lawyer tries to say, oh, social media is an addiction and it should be treated by an addiction specialist. I'm throwing shade at that, not people that suffer with alcoholism or anything like that.
30th, 2025. But a minute entry in the case activity
wait, what was this first one?
Was originally scheduled for April 30th, 2025. But a minute entry in the case activity pushed it earlier to April 3rd, 2025. And this is where things actually kind of get interesting because
sentencing. He's getting sentenced at the end of next month. He's getting sentenced in 2 different courts and courtrooms. I'm sure we did hear this.
This is where things actually kind of get interesting because a plea agreement was filed for 3 of his cases in Maricopa County on April 22nd, and Wolfie was initially set to adult probation. But 2 days later, there was a change in his plea, and now he's officially pleaded guilty to the video where he sprayed Raid on the produce. The articles are reporting that he pleaded guilty to 2 felony accounts of adding poison or other harmful substances to food, 1 misdemeanor count of endangerment, and 1 misdemeanor count of criminal damage.
The man accused of filming himself spraying bug killer on Walmart produce has pled guilty to several charges. In December, Charles Smith recorded himself spraying the bug killer at a Mesa Walmart. He allegedly told investigators that he makes money filming videos of pranks. He'll be back in court on June 24th.
One important thing to notice after spraying...
I have a question. Has TikTok booted him off the platform? I don't think we've heard anything about that yet. Has TikTok kicked him off the platform? Had they banned his account? No? That's a problem. Oh, did they in last video? I couldn't remember Atozy if they said he got banned. We saw his last video so long ago, I couldn't remember if he got banned or not.
He'll be back in court on June 24th.
One important thing to notice after spraying bug exterminator on various food items is that Wolfie actually left the store for about 10 minutes. Then, finally, he returned and attempted to remove all the items he had sprayed. So he then placed all these contaminated items, or at least the items he thought were contaminated, into a shopping cart and moved it to the back of the store. But the damage was already done. It's not like removing specific items magically decontaminates the entire environment. The shelves, baskets, surrounding areas, surrounding produce. This was a disaster waiting to happen, and he's extremely lucky,
Eric.
and honestly, all of us are extremely lucky that no one else was harmed from this.
And again, number one, there's no way he could have possibly been able to properly decontaminate or get rid of all of the contaminated stuff because he doesn't know how much got contaminated because he was just spraying indiscriminately. That's number one. Number two, all of this produce is done. And I guarantee you, he did not take this. And like I said, he took it to the back of the store. He didn't pay for any of this stuff. So the business is still out God knows how much money from losing all of this produce. Like, dude, you're fucking wrong. Even if you're like, oh, I went back in and got rid of him. Doesn't fucking matter. Does not fucking matter. And he was gone for 10 minutes. 10 fucking minutes is a long fucking time for someone to just walk by and grab some of that produce. Hell, chat, how many parents have you seen taking their small kids to the grocery store with them? And as they're passing by the produce, they grab a single banana for their young child to eat while they're grocery shopping, and then they pay for the banana at the register. He could, like, literally, this guy could have killed a child. This man could have literally killed a child. Fuck him. He needs time in prison. He needs time in actual prison. He needs to know that his actions have fucking consequences. If he doesn't receive consequences, he's going to go right back to doing it. We see it with Johnny. We see it with Jack. He will be the exact same way. Yeah, he's banned on TikTok. It's not going to stop him from pulling this shit on Instagram. It's not going to stop him on pulling this shit on fucking Snapchat. It's not going to stop him from maybe doing it like on fucking Twitch or Kick or Party or God only knows what. Unless he receives actual tangible consequences for his actions, he's not going to care. And that's why I heard plea deal and I went, fuck. Because plea deal means they're going to basically drop all but one of the charges. He'll spend maybe a couple weeks in jail, in county jail, and then he'll be out. And he won't have learned his lesson. He needs to spend a couple years in real prison. It's a record, but if the consequences don't match the crime he committed, why the fuck should he care? Okay, look at Johnny. Look at what Johnny's the perfect example. Look at the shit he did. He spent 2 or 3 months in jail in Japan. Did it stop him? No. He went to Korea and look at what he did in Korea. He needs to spend a couple years in prison. Let the punishment actually take effect. Let him lose several years of his life because he endangered people's lives. Oh, yeah, he still has 2 felony charges, Atanashi. But if he entered in a plea deal, who knows if they didn't drop them or reduce them. That's the problem. We don't know. We don't know if if the plea deal is resulting in a reduction of charges or not, because the records are sealed. So we don't know. We are kind of playing guessing games right now. Admittedly, we are playing guessing games because the court records are sealed. We don't know what's going on. So it's a little bit of guessing games. Fact of the matter is, he needs several years in prisons. Yeah, GBP, they probably could. Hell, GBP, the judge doesn't have to accept the plea deal. Okay? When it comes down to it, when the plea deal is presented to the judge can say, yeah, okay, fuck your plea deal. We're going with my ruling. The judge is under no obligation to accept any plea agreement. The judge usually just does because it streamlines the process to the courts. If the prosecuting attorney says, we've come to a plea deal, here's the plea agreement that we've worked out between ourselves and the defense, and the judge could take one look at it and go, yeah, fuck that. You fucked around, now you're gonna find out, and give him and completely ignore the plea deal and just rule. That's entirely possible. We'll see.
But also, according to the court documents, it was unknown if he managed to collect all the contaminated items, and Walmart had to remove the remaining produce valued at $931. Here in AZ Central, it says the time between the defendant sprayed the items to when he placed them into the cart left plenty of time for customers to take the contaminated items and purchase them. So for 10 minutes, people could buy produce that he had sprayed with bug exterminator. Again, all for the attention on social media. I mean, this dude has been walking around like he's been invincible for so long now, and finally, it caught up with him because he fell into that trap of doing more and more insane stuff for content and views because he kept getting away with the last insane stuff. So without a doubt, there's a space for him in the Hall of Fame of Internet Morons because this guy has successfully played himself and ruined his own life for a little bit of attention online. So now, Wolfie is scheduled to be sentenced on June 24th next month, and that's when we'll find out exactly how much time he'll be spending behind the bars. So if this video gets 50,000 likes, I'll show up to the courthouse and cover the sentencing. And feel free to subscribe if you want me to go to the courthouse, and other than that, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video, so I would also recommend clicking it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Atozy's becoming a regular crime reporter. I will contribute to trying to get that to 50,000 likes. He's covering Johnny. He's covering this guy's court. Atozy may have found a new calling. Aha! I like it. I like it. Yeah. Atozy's being an actual journalist. It's fucking amazing. This is great.